Hello, this is John Carter again. This is the second clip in a series called Investing in Yourself with your tax refund. This will change the way that you think about money and spending things that have little or no equity. Most of us live and spend the way we do because it's what we've been taught. However, when we know better, we ought to do better. In the first part of this, it was a segment about 15 minutes long. This one won't be that long, but we had talked about what to do to establish major bank credit and taking a savings from maybe a tax refund and taking it from one bank and establishing savings to another bank and then another bank until finally you get it to a reserve checking account with a compensating balance of at least 10%. So now we're going to go to the next phase and how do you take that money now that has been established in that reserve checking account with a compensating balance of 10% and how you're going to grow that money. Now, we talked about in the first segment how you can use that money to build a business, to buy real estate, or to put it into a business that you already have for operating capital. But you should not spend $1 unless it's going to make you $2 to $3 back. So with that in mind, we're going to talk about now how you can take your paycheck, because most people who open small businesses still operate not operate, but they still have a job that they go to every day until they get in their business full time. Some folks just take the risk, they take the plunge, and they'll go out there and they will just work their business full time, which is more desirable if you can afford to do that, but everyone can't afford to do that. So the first step after that first series where you got your accounts established now, you should have 3 accounts with major banks, with major bank credit, and then you should have your credit union account with the reserve checking with the compensated balance. That account should have an amount of money in it that you can go in and write checks against. So here's how you leverage that money. Most of us have been taught that when we work and we earn money, we pay our bills with it. So we're taught that we use our money to pay our bills that we get, so we use that money one time. I'm going to share with you in this short segment on how you can use money from a paycheck twice. So you can take the money at the beginning of the month and use it to pay bills, and then you use the money in the middle of the month to invest, and we'll talk about that in another segment, in your own life and the life of your children, so you can leave a legacy for them later. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set up a direct deposit with your reserve checking account, and that can be done very, very easily, and most folks would know how to do that. So if you have a job or have a steady income, you want to have that direct deposit, because most people get paid at least twice a month or every other week, but you have that direct deposit to go. And then what you want to do is that you want to change your first of the month bills, like your mortgage and your car payment, to the 6th or the 7th of the month. And most banks and car dealerships or the car finance companies will do that for you, or the credit unions or the bank or whatever it is. And the reason you want to do that is because we're going to take the direct deposit that you get on the 1st of the month or the 2nd of the month, and you're going to allow that money to be deposited in an agreement that you have with the credit union, that any outstanding balance of money that you took out or borrowed against your reserve checking account, that direct deposit on the 1st is going to go in as a payment to whatever that is. So if your direct deposit is $800 or $1,000 or $1,200, whatever it is, that entire amount is going to go as a payment to whatever outstanding balance that you have on that reserve checking account. It takes about 3 days for any payments to post. So then you wait three days. The reason you want to move your payments to the 6th or the 7th of the month, because that same money that you got at the beginning of the month that you would normally pay bills with, it went in as a payment on that reserve checking for any outstanding monies that balances that you took out to buy a franchise, invest in real estate, operating capital for your business or whatever. That got documented as a payment. You're going to go back on the 5th and you're going to write a check out of that account and pay your mortgage and your car payment or whatever else you would normally have at the 1st of the month, or those bills you have at the 1st of the month. So what you've effectively done at this point, you've taken the money that you earned at the beginning of the month and you paid a loan, and you've taken that same money that you paid the loan with, and that's what the reserve checking account allows you to do, and paid your other bills with as well. So instead of paying bills once with the money that you got from your paycheck, you've paid bills twice. And so that way, the money that you earn in the middle of the month, you can use that money for other investments. So again, that will allow you to make any payments to any outstanding balances on your line of credit with the credit union and use that money to make your monthly payments. This is a technique that's used quite a bit by folks who are out there establishing their own businesses. This way, you never should have to go to the bank to ask for money again. You become your own financier. You become your own bank. You just have to have discipline in doing these techniques. I'll come back in about a week with the next part of this series on how to take that money from the middle of the month that you save and build a great capital investment with that as well.